The one that says only 55% have a case management software.
Yeah, that's on the
Did you
company.
see
Yeah.
that? And it went down from 59%.
That was case management or CRM?
No, it was case management.
Oh, I thought it was CRM. Oh, wow. Case management went down. So what is definition of case management? Is
Yeah.
that like forms and stuff or
That's like Filevine, Clio, DocketWise, the 8 a.m.,
e-immigration by Serenade, the sponsor for this
formally.
podcast?
Yeah, e-immigration, Serenade. Yeah, it
Oh, that's
was
surprising. 'Cause
on,
I caught the CRM not have like barely people having CRMs, but actually
that's
nowadays case
normal. A lot of
management's
people don't have a
yeah.
CRM. Yeah. Like even they didn't even track it in the last marketplace study. So if it's on page 17, the practice management software, that's a really good question. When I'm thinking practice management software, I'm thinking they mean case management software, not like Monday or Trello or Asana. But I'm pretty sure that's what they mean,
That's what they usually mean when
is
they
case
say it.
management software.
And it's an expense, and people are hesitant about the cost of sometimes. But that's surprising at this day and age, like especially with the new systems that allow e-filing through USCIS and uploading the S260s. Like
Yeah.
that's such a time saver, and sending their questionnaires to clients automatic inputs in our systems. That's so vital. But there's an aspect like the survey starts with like people are stressed out as ever as immigration lawyers, but this financially, there's immigration lawyers still making money. It seems like there's a growth happening. So finances shouldn't necessarily
You know,
be the biggest worry, I guess.
I think I might have misunderstood that. Sorry, because there's a line that says immigration case management. And they go from 59% to 70%. And then they have a practice management software from 59% to 55%. So
Case,
I think they separated it out.
they need to change the name of what they call
Anyway,
case management because it's a vague. It could be a lot of different things when it comes to case management.
yeah, I think that's a little confusing. But anyway, okay, I hope that we went up to 70% instead of going down. The other thing is some of your case management software has practice management, project management software in it. So I could see why this can be confusing. Like even when they were talking about virtual assistants and virtual paralegals, I was getting a little confused with the terminology a little bit too
Yeah,
that they were using. So probably 70% of us are using immigration case management
and that's
programs.
probably
So
the key.
that's
Yeah.
good. It went up a little
And there's
bit.
so
Yeah,
many more
no, that's good.
companies coming. Every week I get a new company that says, we're making the AI case management. I'm like, okay. And then next week, another one. It's been like the last 6 months, every week. So six to probably 24 companies have contacted me about their new AI system for case management. I'm like, how much business is there inevitably with this much competition coming that are creating AI systems? There's going to be like, it's like the .com boom in the or late 90s where everyone had a .com and then everything crashed and the winners stayed up. I think that's going to happen in the next 1 to 3 years in the immigration space. There's just way too many people getting in space doing AI, case management, practice management software. And it's a couple of existing people are going to win and maybe one or two new people, but that's it. It's not possible to keep this going like all these new softwares that will be coming out.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of little ones popping up that can do like one thing. I think what's going to happen is that they're going to get absorbed and there's going to be this race to be the leaders of a few companies that can do all things. But then it is a little bit uncomfortable when they try to absorb and streamline the process of what they buy and integrate into their system. We'll have to keep watching that. But I'm glad I figured this out because I was like, why are we using less case management software? But yeah, I think overall the trends are better, and I'm glad that they're checking for the CRM, client relationship management tool, because they weren't checking that before. The 28%, I think that sounds about right, even though I feel like we should be using it a lot more than others. What was another takeaway that
So
you
page
there's a lot
50,
in here.
yeah, and we'll see how much time we have.
Okay.
But page 50, it's about overhead revenue profitability. For the first time, they did this where they asked lawyers who had financial knowledge of their firm, so make sure it's not associate is not involved, it's the person
Oh,
involved.
uh-huh.
And then of them, a quarter of the response said they didn't know the ins and outs of their overhead and how much things are costing. They're not keeping track of it. And that was surprising because I spent last, like, maybe if you asked me 5 years ago, I would be one of those. But 5 years before, after that, I got QuickBooks and I'm like, I do my own bookkeeping. Like, I know every penny, everything now. And it's really eye opening because I'll see all this. There's this podcast I don't say as much, but it's called the Founders Podcast and it goes over the biographies of the top founders.
Mm,
And like the guy from Walmart, the
mhm.
guy who made Walmart, his big thing was like, you got to beat back the bureaucracy. Every month, there's going to be more and more overhead. They just say, okay, I'll spend $10 here, $5 here, but you got to keep reviewing it. And every year I'll go back and I'm like, oh, I'm paying $30 a month on something I'm not using or $60 a month here. It doesn't sound like much 30 or 60, but then it's $600 a month potentially or 720. And you're not even using it, or maybe you can negotiate it or something like that. So I have an annual review now where I get all these to try to renegotiate. If they don't give it cheaper, I drop them or find alternative versions of that software. I constantly am changing our social media uploading software because they keep jacking the price. I'll go to a competitor that's even better. Or I study what their software is and I'll learn, oh, I was about to cancel them, but they have all this extra stuff I wasn't using. I could cancel another company and just keep this one. There's a bunch of stuff like that happens, but it's like a whole thing to be on top of that.
Oh, that's awesome because a lot of companies don't expect anybody. They want you to set it and forget it and keep taking your
Yeah.
money every month. And so that you're reviewing it and analyzing it and negotiating, that's awesome. It just takes time and making a note of it and building it into your schedule, or and also have maybe a team member help you too if that's possible. But that's awesome that you're doing that. I'm sure you're saving a lot of money from that.
Yeah, but it's not the most, but it's like say a little bit here and there. But what I found is just it forces you to learn the software you have. And it's amazing because
It's true.
I'll
It's
contact
true.
the companies and ask them, and they're like, "You're the first person who's ever asked us this," and no one's really using the software. They only use one aspect, but I'll study it, and I'll get into it, and they get really
Yeah.
excited about it themselves. Oh, they want to talk about it a lot of times. Okay,
No,
next.
it's true. It's not that people don't like they say they don't like their case manager or their whatever program. It's really a lot of them just don't know how to use
Yeah,
it properly, and there's all those different features change.
too
Okay,
much
what's the
learning
next
involved,
thing?
then you're burned out.